All right, it is game number 2 on Wednesday night, championship night here at the Lakemont Park League. Dave Shannon, joined by, I can almost call myself an alum, Rick. As many years as I made that trip up to Loretto for basketball, I feel like an alum.
Well, you should. You should.
That was a lot of fun, I'll tell you.
Oh, heck yeah.
All right, and we are underway as the nice scoop shot as Forney is able to put that one in for Colton's Cruiser. And it is quickly 2-0. With the basketball, it is Haas's. Muir kicks it over. A three-point attempt rattles through. Nice shot deep on the right wing. And it makes it 3-2 in favor of Haas's. So we'll see if the scoring may pick up just a little bit here in this game. With the basketball, it is Colton's Cruisers. Pass goes down inside, tipped around, and Haas's with the takeaway. Leading by a score of 3-2. Over the midcourt stripe. Ooh, what a knock against the side of the head there, but a three-point shot falls through for Haas's Brandon Simpson. Makes the score 6-2. A couple of threes will get you out in a hurry, Rick.
That's for sure. They're bombing them up.
It is Colton's Cruisers with the basketball, and that one rims out, and that one taken by Nate Blau, and it is a rebound for Haas's, and they're going to try to add to a 4-point lead that they have right now. They go down inside. Spin move will not go up and in for Phil Hughes, and it is back the other way with Colton's Cruisers. And now the big guy down the lane, Tyler Port, stops at about the foul line, puts the jumper up, and it won't fall, and the rebound is pulled in by Haas's. Haas's. James Muir brings the basketball. Cross midcourt, stops between the circles. Now they kick it over deep on the right side. Three-point attempt will not go, and the rebound's pulled in by Colton's Cruisers.
Both teams have a big man, so they should get him in near the foul line and work with them.
Yeah. There's a three-pointer that gets a friendly roll for Jason Cornelius, and it makes the score 6-5 in favor of Colton's Cruisers. Three-point attempt will not go that time, and the rebound to Colton's Cruisers, trying to get back to having the lead. They started the game up 2-0. It's 6-5 in favor of Haas's, and that ball bounces up off the rim. Rick, that one's out of bounds.
You know, it's funny, Dave, to see Colton's, they were just coming up. The guy with the ball was all the way down court. All four of his teammates were still on the other side of half court.
Yeah.
Getting tired already.
All right. And that shot is up and it won't go in. I do not know how to pronounce Mike's name. Macionsky. Nobody's here to help either.
I'll say Machonsky.
Machonsky? We'll go with that. And he has the ball, and he kicks it ahead. It's picked up. It was loose there. Muir found it, and James puts that one up and in. And now it's Haas's up by a score of 8-5. Colton's Cruisers with the basketball. And taking it around is Brian Forney. Forney kicks it over. Deep from the left sideline, it won't go. And it is Haas's with the rebound.
It's got to be tough shooting from the outside.
Yeah.
There's a little breeze blowing.
And pass goes down underneath, and it is out of bounds off of Haas's. An opportunity missed there, Rick.
Yeah. Just a bad pass, that's all.
Yeah. Gets a little crowded down inside. That's one thing I've noticed. You know, you have games like this. It gets crowded no matter what level basketball is, but it seems to get even a little more crowded in these games.
Exactly. A lot of guys just hang down by the key, and you know, the movement, the speed, it's not there like it used to be. But
Tyler Port, off the left elbow, puts a shot up and draws a foul.
That's a good shot by the big guy.
Yeah, it was. You know, that's one that seems to get lost on a lot of players of the modern game, if you will. They don't like those elbow shots. You know, it's like it's easier to be a hero when you hit the threes. Those elbow shots are great.
Oh, heck yeah. That's what keeps you in the game.
Yeah, absolutely. Port makes that one and makes it an 8-6 game. Tyler's second shot. That one's off the back of the rim, going 1 for 2, and that trip to the foul line. It is an 8-6 game in favor of Hossa. Simpson with the basketball. Hughes at the top of the key, back to Simpson on the left wing, nearly in the left corner. Simpson's going to take a shot from the left wing, kind of deep, and it will not go. And it's Machonsky with the rebound. They work it around. Davis, top of the key, goes over deep on the right wing for 3. Nice shot for Hosses.
That's what you get when you move the ball around. Someone's going to be wide open for that shot.
James Muir makes that one and makes it an 11-6 game in favor of Hosses. Colton's Cruisers with the basketball, trying to get a pass down inside. Sometimes doesn't pay to force that.
No, there's no reason to. You think he's open, but it closes up real quickly.
Yeah, that's a split-second kind of thing. Not saying that you can't complete that, but, you know, it is a big risk. Colton's Cruisers with the basketball. There's a shot from the left elbow, and it will not fall for Brian Forney, and the rebound goes to Hosses. James Muir with it. Kicks it ahead. Machonsky with it. Strikes down toward the basket. Kicks it over to the official.
You saw that invisible teammate over there.
Either that or he was looking for her to make a 3. I don't know. She was in position. All right. The fun of tracking down the basketball is it can take a pretty good roll here, Rick.
Oh, yeah. It can go. That's when you look for the little kids that are running around. They'll go get it. There's not going to be too many fast breaks in this game. I can see that.
Yeah, there's, let's just put it this way. There's some meat out there.
That's a good way to put it.
Colton's Cruisers with the basketball. And that's Kyle Updike. And move it around and
move the ball. That's it.
McManus is going to take the shot. It won't go. He tries to follow his shot to get the rebound, and he ends up bumping in to Brandon Simpson. So the foul is called, and that will be his first. It's 11-6, 5-point lead for Hosses. And Farkas goes down the lane, and Art can't make that one fall. It stays 11-6, 12.5 left to go in the first half. Back up the floor. Forney with the basketball, and nice tip by Machonsky to make that one go out of bounds. Machonsky and Simpson out of the game, into the game. For Hosses, Chris Stern comes in. And it is a 3-point attempt up and in. Brian Forney makes that one. And this has now become a 2-point game, 11-9 in favor of Hosses. With the basketball, Art Farkas. Art dribbles out near the midcourt circle. Pass over in the left wing to Jake Yeager. Farkas kicks it over. Hosses has basically put a whole new team out there, and, well, they respond with points. You know you made the right substitutions when you get points out of them right out of the gate.
Yep. Well, you have to sub, too. I mean, up and down the court, these guys get tired after 6 minutes, or, you know, you need a break.
There's a nice cut to the basket, and Tyler Port, disappointed in himself. He's basically wide open, Rick, and he just couldn't make that one. There goes Chris Stern down the lane, trying to make a pass over and make something happen, and went by Blake Davis and everybody else. Went out of bounds, and it will be Colton's Cruisers' ball. 13-9, a 4-point edge here for Hosses. So we're staying nice and close here so far, Rick.
Yeah. Got a good game going on.
That shot is off the back of the rim, bounces up high, and eventually ends up in the hands of Hosses. Up the floor, Chris Stern. Stern stops at the foul line, kicks it over. Now they go inside. Farkas to Davis. Spin hook, and it won't go. Farkas has it back, left wing three. That rims out. And the Colton's Cruisers fighting for the rebound, and the foul is called on Hosses.
And those were two good shot opportunities.
And it is 13-9, and Colton's Cruisers trying to narrow that lead once again as we get to the halfway point here in the first half. It is Colton's Cruisers with the ball, and Brian Forney out at the midcourt circle, goes over in the left side, down toward the baseline, back around. It makes its way to Brian Forney for his second three of the game. And that gets it down to a one-point affair. It's one thing the three can do, Rick. Get you right back in it in a hurry.
It's all about moving the ball.
Yeah.
Move the ball.
Jake Yeager with the basketball, trying to make a move or two there, and he made one too many steps in that move. So the ball is turned over to Colton's Cruisers with an opportunity to take the lead here. Brian Forney. It eventually works its way into the corner, and then it is tapped away. Hosses with the turnover. Art Farkas over the midcourt stripe. Art kicks it into the corner. That's going to be Stern, corner that is, and Stern for three, and it won't go. 13-12, Hosses still up by one. And with the basketball, it is Colton's Cruisers. Move the ball around. Now it is Kyle Updike with the ball in the right elbow, and he ends up being fouled.
You catch that ball in the key like that, turn opposite and hit the other side. They're wide open every time.
And you would know about those kind of things.
Oh, heck yeah.
Brian Forney with the ball. Comes back over to Nate Blau. Nate down the lane, tried to get the shot off, it won't go. Keeps fighting.
Well,
gets a second attempt up.
Good drive.
Yeah. Came up empty on the point side, but good effort there. And it's James Muir with the basketball. Muir over to Farkas, down inside, baseline. And that shot will not go for Brandon Solner. And down the lane, up, and last second hook shot put up by Forney. It doesn't fall, but he's fouled on the play.
He went to the hoop strong.
Solner is rung up for that one. 13-12. And here is Colton's Cruisers' chance to take the lead from the foul line. Brian Forney makes the first one. We're even at 13.
That's a good comeback.
Yeah, it is. Clock down to 7:26 left. Second shot. Rattles out. Solner with a rebound. I thought we were tied at 13, but I guess I'm a point ahead there. Simpson's going to take that three, and it won't go. And here's Forney with a rebound. I think Brian's going to go all the way to the hole. He tries to get there, but the ball is tipped away, and a timeout was called by Colton's Cruisers.
That's our good friend, old-time all-star Curtis Miller out there with the whistle.
Yeah. Yeah, it's. I'll tell you what, Rick. It's one of the biggest things that I've seen now. Let me get these sponsors in, and we'll talk about that. Stuckey Automotive, one of the sponsors of our coverage here, along with Sideline Cancer, Proactive Sports, CBRC, Lakemont Park, Mike's Court, Dino's Pizza Greenwood location, American Eagle Paper Mills, and the Altoona Mirror. But it's really become a big problem, especially at the high school level now, to try to... That's what I had, John. So, yeah, the scoreboard still says 12-13. We think it's 13. John Hartsock just passed me a note, and he's thinking the same way I am, that it's tied at 13. But anyway, trying to get officials, Rick, is a tough deal these days. I mean, high school, it's tough to get people to want to come out and do that.
Dave, you're right. You know, I coach the junior high and high school, and I speak with the referees, and they're just having a heck of a time finding younger refs to come up.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, one of the main reasons is putting up with all the stuff that goes on at the games.
Yeah, I was talking with Coach Wheeler earlier on the radio station, and we were talking about the fact that sometimes people don't want to go out and officiate because of the you get harassed by the fans, and it's nice 3-point shot, Jason Cornelius. That's his second free of this first half. It says 15-13 on the scoreboard. I think it's different, but we'll find out. Simpson takes a shot and won't go. And Colton's Cruisers with the rebound. Jason Cornelius gets it ahead. Down the lane, up, off the glass, will not fall for Kyle Updike. And it's Haas's with the rebound. But you do have to have a tough skin, you know. And it's never really from the coaches, Rick, as much as it is from the fans, you know.
Well, you're exactly right, Dave. It's from not just the fans, but it's from the parents of the players. And it's been going on for years and years and years, and it'll just continue like that. So to be a referee, you got to have some tough skin and tell yourself, I'm going to put up with it. I'm not going to listen.
3-point shots, nothing but net for Jason Cornelius. He has 9 points here in the first half, all threes.
3 for 3.
Yeah.
3.
18-13. It is Colton's Cruisers with the lead. Haas with the basketball. And it's Mike Machonsky. Machonsky to Simpson, down in on the baseline. Fake shot, and then a drive toward the basket. Shots blocked, and an attempt by Lake Davis. And here comes Colton's Cruisers, and a travel is called as Jason Cornelius, feeling hot right now, trying to make his fourth third in a row there.
He took a little extra step. Getting all excited to hit that fourth one.
That's quite an accomplishment, no matter what level of basketball you're in.
Especially out here with the breeze blowing. It's not easy shooting out here.
James Muir goes down the lane, tries to get a last-second shot to fall. It doesn't, but he drew the foul, too. Yeah, it's a... I know one of the things PIAA is trying to get recruit more and more officials. But it seems to get tougher all the time. Muir makes that foul shot.
Yes, it does.
Haas has needed to get a point here. They've been dry for a while. I don't have the time that it's been since they scored last, but they did need that. And he makes the second one, too, so he goes 2 for 2. And right now he has 7 of the 15 points that Haas has. Back to a 3-point game, Rick.
Yeah.
Under 3.5 left to go here in the first half as Colton's Cruisers, ball is tipped away. Simpson's there, a happy recipient of that tip. And it'll be James Muir to bring it down the floor. Muir to Davis. Davis from the foul line. Up, almost went. Rebound pulled in immediately. Tyler Port, the big guy, was there to tap that over, and his teammates bring it up the floor. Brian Forney. Forney goes to Charlie Lego. And it's going to be Lego with the ball back. He'll go back out to Forney. There's a shot from the far sideline. The bank is open, as Mr. Edelman said earlier.
That's for sure.
A big grin on the face of Jason Cornelius as he comes back, and he's got that 4-3. Haas with the basketball. Muir with it. Deep on the right wing. Simpson now, top of the key. Thought about a shot now. Takes it down the lane, and it's rejected right at the end. Cornelius with the ball. Gets it ahead quickly. And slowing things down will be Charlie Lego. Underhand toss to Forney down the lane. Spin move. Triple team. Fouled. Brian Forney is fouled on the play. And that one called on Blake Davis. 21-15 It is Colton's Cruisers in the lead as the clock goes under. It's a minute 53 left to go here in the first half, a 6-point game. And Hosses ends up with a basketball. A three here gets it right back down to a 3-point game. You're a little bit of trouble there, controlling the ball, gets it back. James goes down inside. Nice spin move, and the shot will not fall. I think that was one of those, Rick, where he was so open that Phil Hughes just turned there and was like, I can't believe I'm that open. He just hit the backboard. The ball bounced off the backboard really hard there.
Yeah.
So, what all have you been up to here over the summer?
Well, I'm coaching junior high girls up at Penn Cambria. I've been doing that. This is my 10th season.
Mm-hmm.
And we have open gyms twice a week, and we are in 2 different leagues, one here at the Summit, a doubleheader league every other weekend, and there was a Wednesday league up at Cambria Heights in Patton. So kept us busy with the girls. And it was all good. In the high school, they were playing out in the Hollidaysburg Y League. So
I'll tell you what, one of the things I've noticed over the years, Rick, when basketball season kicks back in, and you can tell, there's something that's very easy to tell when someone's played over the summer. The way they move on the floor, their instincts get honed in, at the high school level. And they start showing up at spots on the floor, and you wonder how they get there. Now down the lane, Colton's Cruisers with the basketball. It's kicked back out. Alan McManus with an underhand toss to Cornelius, and they're going to work it around as we get down near the final minute of the first half. And Colton's Cruisers up by 7, 22-15. Forney with the basketball. Brian spins, goes to Cornelius, and now in on the foul line, there's a jumper by the big guy, and it won't go. Tyler Port can't make it.
Well, that was a wide open shot. That's what they were looking for.
Hosses. Simpson tries a three. That one's short, and Phil Hughes can't get to it. Ball goes out of bounds, and it's to Colton's Cruisers. But that time you see, you can just tell the way somebody moves that, and part of being really good at basketball is having played the game a lot.
Yeah, you have to, Dave.
It's it becomes, it's instinct. You don't think about anything. It's just what you do. And you can tell those people. That's how they end up, I think. I've always admired, especially at the college game, I see how many players just end up putting themselves at the right spot on the floor to get a rebound, or the right spot on the floor that they're going to be wide open for a pass. Mm-hmm. It always amazes me, but then I remember there's a lot of hours that went into being at that correct spot on the floor. And there's a shot at the buzzer for Colton's Cruisers. Who did that go in from?
Forney hit that. Forney hit that.
So Forney has himself a first half, and so does Cornelius. Totals up to 24 for Colton's Cruisers, and it's 15 for Hosses here at the end of the first half. But that's one of the things, Rick, that I've watched. When I first got acquainted with Allie Campbell down at Bellwood, and you saw Allie quite a few times.
I love Allie. Yeah.
And to watch her do the things that she did, it was like you knew right away that she had a lot of time in the AAU leagues. The other thing that does for you, don't misunderstand, young people you may be out there listening, it's not just the hours you put in, but it's the quality of the hours you put in. There's good, reps are good, but they need to be good reps. You don't want to be doing bad reps because, you can get into some really bad habits, so you got to make sure you're getting good reps. So the level of the basketball you play hopefully brings that out.
That's for sure. The other thing, too, Dave, is the kids today got to realize it's not just being on the AAU traveling team or being in a summer league. You got to play on your own. You got to go out and shoot 100, 200 shots a day if you want to get good. And some people do that, and some don't know how to do that yet.
I'll tell you what, Rick, everybody that I've talked to, high school, college, doesn't matter. And I first became acquainted with this. 3-point shots up and in. Mike Machonsky gets the early scoring start for Hosses and makes it a 6-point game, 24-18. I got acquainted with that through Mike Isolino.
Yeah, exactly.
I talked to Mike when he played at St. Francis, and, I said, how many shots a day do you take? Because there'd be times when I'd show up, and it wasn't game time yet, but, there were a number of players that would be around. And I said, Mike, how many shots, do you take a day? And he said, well, I go to I make 300. I said, so 300 shots a day? No, he said, I said till I make 300 shots. And it was like, that really drove it home. That was his goal on a daily basis. And, I've talked to a lot of players that have that same goal, make 300.
Yeah.
And
that's a good goal.
Yeah. And I talked to a young man over at Forest Hills. He's like a shooting guard there at Forest Hills as they defeated Tyrone in the postseason here last year. And I asked him about that. And he said, yep, it's 300 made shots a day. And you could tell because that white 3. Thank you. But you can tell by that, the way the shot comes off their hand, and it's just like, it's amazing. And, we marvel at the nothing but net stuff, but they expect that, because of the amount of time they put into it. 25-18 to score here, and it is a rebound for Jason Cornelius, almost taken back by Art Farkas, but it is Colton's Cruisers with a basketball. Brian Forney starts down toward the basket, kicks it off at the last second over to Cornelius, comes out of the left corner, down in on the baseline. And nice ball movement here by Colton's Cruisers. With the ball, it is Kyle Updike making his way toward the basket, and he draws a foul. And that went on Chris Stern. Non-shooting foul at this point. 25-18, 7-point game. Inbound to Cornelius. Goes right back down inside. It got away, and a wide open cut to the basket for Kyle Updike, and he can't convert. I think Rick thought there should have been a foul on him.
A little bit of contact on that, it looked like.
I got to agree. James Muir with the basketball. He's out there between the circles with 16:50 left to go in the second half, trying to crown a champion in the Lakemont Park Summer Basketball League, CBRC, organizing this, and always some great basketball out here. Yeager, spin move, up off the glass, and Jake Yeager can't get that one to fall, 25-18. Colton's Cruisers up by 7.
Hosses has to get some offense going here.
Yes. Yeah, they came out of the gate hot, and then Colton's Cruisers just kind of took control of the game. Brian Forney with the basketball, kicks it over. Tyler Port starts down toward the basket, pull up from the left elbow, and it won't go. Hosses with the rebound, pass ahead, tipped off the hands of Jake Yeager, and getting it right back is Colton's Cruisers. And the inbound play. Forney gets it in to Nate Blau, and Nate will bring it up over the midcourt stripe. One thing it's, I think we can go ahead and say this, that Brian Forney looks like the type of guy that could be in MMA or WWE or whatever he wanted to do. But the amazing thing about that is, Rick, he's really agile and fast. A lot of guys that really get into a great bodybuilding program, which he obviously is in, it can slow you down a little bit, but it hasn't affected him at all.
Now, Dave, I was going to say that earlier about he's a really good point guard.
Mm-hmm.
You know, with the ball, has a great shot. Look how strong he is.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a good-looking dude.
Yeah. Put together, as they say.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Farkas with the basketball trying to make a move toward the lane, and he draws a foul by Nate Blau.
When you're in shape like that out on the court, you know you can handle anything. Big men, small men, it doesn't matter. You just feel that confidence in yourself.
Then when you got the speed to go with it, wow.
Yeah, heck yeah.
That's a big. The other thing that amazes me as well, it's true in basketball at the collegiate level, and certainly in the NBA as well. You have a lot of large men that play the game. I mean, LeBron James is a large man.
Very large.
And it's, now I know there's a lot of work that goes into that, but it doesn't seem as though he's lost a step at all. And there's foul called there on Alan McManus. And that'll be, I have that as his first. 25-18 the score here with Colton's Cruisers in the lead.
A little physical down underneath there.
Yeah, and three-pointer won't go for Cornelius. He had 4 made threes in the first half. Still a 7-point game, 13:41 left to go in the second half.
Hosses, they got to score here.
Well, they can't get and Phil Hughes was not happy about that one, as he felt he got some contact right before he let go of the basketball. Wanted to foul, but nothing was called. And he, as some people would say, he dummied up in a hurry. I think he thought if he pushed that too hard, there could be something else happening there. Here's another example, you talk about the fearlessness of Brian Forney. He's coming right up into a double team.
Went right through it.
Yeah.
Brian, at your convenience, you bring down the
25-18. It'll be an inbound play for Colton's Cruisers as Updike gets it in to Brian Forney. Brian over the midcourt stripe. Deep on the left wing. I was thinking he's due to take one, I think, Rick. One of those threes.
Well, he will.
A pass. And speaking of threes, the ball going into the hands of Jason Cornelius.
You know it's going up if he gets it.
Yep. Score remains the same as time continues to drift away. Hosses, as you said in the last possession, Rick, they need to get a point. They need to get some points here. As Colton's Cruisers adds a couple there, Kyle Updike well down the floor. Good pass ahead. 27-18. Hosses with the ball. James Muir kicks it over. Yeager with it from the left elbow. Shot is wide left. And it's a rebound for Colton's Cruisers.
Yeah, they're having a tough time putting that ball in the hole.
Yeah.
But we still got a whole quarter left here. 10 minutes.
You're right. And then a travel at the other end by Colton's Cruisers. And you can tell by the amount of perspiration these guys have on them. It's taken a good bit out of them.
Oh, heck yeah.
And we'll have to see if at some point, although I think Hosses feels they have the best chance to get into a run of points with the guys that are out there, but they may have to think about bringing some of those guys in off the sideline.
Yeah, they got 4 guys over there on the bench that played in the first half a lot. They'll be coming in. They need some fresh blood, I think.
I think so, too.
They need somebody to put the ball in the basket. I know that.
Simpson's going to try that right now for 3, and it won't fall. Yeager was going for the rebound, a little bit too aggressive, didn't get the ball, and instead just tipped it further out of bounds. So it'll be Brian Forney to inbound.
I mean, they had 15 at halftime, and now 10 minutes left, they got 18.
Yeah.
That's not very productive.
Not been good. Here's a 3-point attempt by guess who? Jason Cornelius. It doesn't fall. Yeager with the rebound and gets it over the midcourt stripe close to an over and back there, but he did keep everything going in the right direction. It's going to take a three, and it won't go. Brian Forney with the rebound. Back the other way. He has some company back there, but he decides to take control, start to make a move toward the basket, and draw a foul. And I guess that was on Yeager that time. And Jake comes out of the game. Yule is used, that is back in the game for Hosses. With the basketball for Colton's Cruisers, there's Brian Forney. Little hook pass to Alan McManus. Alan back to Brian Forney. Forney draws a double team, goes back to McManus. McManus, cross-court pass, back out, Forney has it. Brian dribbles over toward the right wing, stops, kicks it into the corner. Now a pass down the baseline, and it gets away from McManus, and Hosses has it. Nice play by Davis to slow things down there a bit as he got to the midcourt stripe. Although they can't afford to be giving too much more time away here, Rick.
Well, no, and then here the big guy, he goes down trying to get position down there, but got a little too physical, and Curtis called the foul on him.
So right back to Colton's Cruisers.
Every possession is important for Hosses now.
Absolutely. And every defensive stand has to be good as well.
Yeah, they can't let it go for a minute every time Colton's has the ball.
Brian Forney almost insisted, almost willed that one into the basket, but it did not go. And then the rebound as James Muir tries to get it up the floor, up against that stifling defense by Brian Forney. And Brian gets run up for a foul there. Hosses gets it in. Still, as Rick pointed out, sitting here with 18 three-point attempts, not going to fall, and it's going to be another rebound for Colton's Cruisers. Kind of hated it. I think that Hosses, it's the only thing I've never liked about the three, Rick, is that a lot of teams think that's the only way you can get back into a game. And there are other ways to do that.
Well, especially when there's 7.5 minutes left.
Yeah.
Just work the ball, get it down low, make a layup, and maybe get fouled and get a three-point play. You know, but yeah, you can't live on, you think you're going to make 5 threes in a row.
Yeah.
They're 0 for the half, so they're not going to, you got to go to the hoop like that.
Yep. Muir went down. No foul was called. Davis tries to put it up. Won't go for him. And
3-on-2.
Yeah, it's Colton's Cruisers with the ball again. And it's a block that's going to be called on Brandon Solner, I do believe. Yep, that'll be Brandon's second. 29-18, an 11-point game. And we're kind of frozen in time here on the scoreboard, Rick. It's just that's 29-18's been up there for a while.
That's for sure.
Let's see if that can change now from the foul line.
It's not going to help Hosses, that's for sure.
Yeah. Kyle Updike at the line for Colton's Cruisers. And there, on the 1-on-1 is the front end, and that's 30 now.
Well, 6 minutes, so you still got time. You just got to come down on offense, get a quick bucket, play tough D, maybe get a steal. You can't foul, though. They're shooting 1-on-1 every time, so.
Yeah. Yeah, that changes the strategy that you have as far as your defense goes. There goes Davis down the lane, tried to get a pass off. Did get the pass off to Brandon Solner, but could not get it under control, and the ball ends up going out of bounds, and guess who has it back? That wasn't even a one and done, Rick. That was a none and done that time. Didn't get a shot off.
And, you know, it wasn't a bad pass to the big guy. He just couldn't get a hold of it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just been a tough
second half.
Yeah. As I said, the beginning of the game was really good, and it's been a tough one from that point on for Hosses. I do want to thank our sponsors of the telecast here. That group includes the Altoona Mirror, American Eagle, Paper Mills, Dino's Pizza Greenwood location, Mike's Court, Lakemont Park, CBRC, Proactive Sports, Sideline Cancer, and Stuckey Automotive. I thank those sponsors for being a part of this as we have one more game to go yet here this evening.
It sure is a beautiful evening.
It is,
for sure.
You know, you had mentioned there was a little bit of a breeze that went through, but Rick, it's gone right back to being dead again.
Oh yeah, there's nothing blowing.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure at noticing the amount of sweat on all these guys, they probably appreciate a little bit of a breeze right now. Even though it might, and there was Brian Forney ends up getting real physical with Phil Hughes. And they're still jawing with each other, heading back up the floor.
A little verbal exchange.
Yeah.
That's all part of the summer league.
Exchanging pleasantries on the way up the floor.
They'll be giving each other a hug in 5 minutes. Hopefully.
Yes, yes. 5:16, and now the clock is ticking down. Farkas with the basketball. Loses control on the way to the basket. Nice recovery, though, as James Muir picks it up. Muir starts toward the basket. Ooh, he almost got that to fall.
That would have been nice if that went in.
Took a bump from Alan McManus, and count that as number 2 on McManus.
That would have been nice. That would have made it 20, and now make this, have it a 10-point game.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Well, we'll see.
Your shot is up. Rattles around.
It may stay at 18.
Yeah. I'd say it's kind of like there's a lid on the basket, but that wouldn't be a good way to describe this. Muir makes the second of 2 there.
They've had their opportunities, Dave. They got some good open shots that just wouldn't fall. And yeah, it's just been a very tough half for them.
And this has been, we're on the verge of football season, Rick, and this has been, at times, the physical nature of this made it a little closer to a football game than a basketball game.
Well, I remember those days at Mansion Park. Those games were all had a little bit of football in them.
Yeah, yeah. Yep. Yeah, one of the things we were talking a little bit about Alec Campbell, and there are some points for Haas's. Phil Hughes gets one up and in.
Nice.
Down to 3.5 left to go in the game, as Colton's Cruiser is about to cruise into a championship here in the Lakemont Park Summer Basketball League. But one of the things, I didn't start out at St. Francis by doing public address for both men's and women's. And it was very early. I mean, the women's game was a lot different when I first started there in the early 80s,
Sure.
And actually the late 70s is when I started there. And then I think I picked up doing public address for the women's games after that. And as years went by, the physical nature of the women's game in college basketball just changed dramatically. I mean, there was a lot of stuff going on out there.
Oh, that's for sure.
And it's one thing that you had to be ready to be tough if you were going to play women's basketball in college. I saw my share of players get hurt over the course of time, and it's just because that's the nature of the game.
And Dave, that filtered down into the high schools, where high school you really had to be tough. And then by being tough and knowing how to be physical, when you went up to the next level, you at least had an idea of what the game was going to be like.
Right.
So, but yeah, it definitely got tougher and tougher. And now today, men's and women's are just about the same, I'm sure.
Well, that's what you call running into a brick wall there.
Yeah.
And there's an easy 2 back the other way, thanks to the efforts of Kyle Updike. 34-21. Muir And it looks like Jake Yeager's going to get rung up for that.
Well, he was trying to set a pick and sort of moved once the guy was already getting by him.
So a minute 36 left to go, and the hardware is here. Rick, here we go. Got the big trophy here beside us.
Well, I got a feeling Hosses still isn't going to give up until the final buzzer.
Oh, yeah.
So there may be some physical play here in the last minute and a half.
Cornelius DeForney, they work it around, and Kyle Updike with it goes down toward the basket, and I think this is the. I guess he stepped on the end line there, Updike. So that'll be Haas's ball, but yeah, I think they're just trying. I know that Colton's Cruiser's trying to run it out here. 3-point shot will not fall for Farkas, and the ball goes out of bounds to Haas's. Inbounding will be Brandon Solner.
That's why I'm stepping out.
Brandon inbounds out to Muir. Between the circles for three. Off the front of the rim. Farkas with the rebound right back out to Muir.
Good hustle.
Yeager tried to bring a little rain, but there's no clouds up there.
Well,
rebound goes to Colton's Cruisers, and they're going to take their time coming down the court with the basketball. Charlie Lego.
Well, they're either going to let them dribble it out or foul them. No, they're just going to let it go.
See if they're going to foul. Going to foul? No.
Okay. Question went out as to whether they were going to foul, and the answer was no. And so they're going to play it out. Just going to let the clock run out.
The answer should have been maybe, because somebody still might go for the ball here.
The big thing, and you take a look at this, and the final score is going to be 34-21.
My goodness!
And the bottom line is, Rick, what you were talking about. It's only 6 points scored here in the second half by Haas's, and that just, it's not a good thing. Not a good thing. But hey, these guys put a season in out here. They gave it their all.
Yeah, they got here to the championship game, so they should feel very good about their whole summer and getting to the championship. That's what it's all about.
They were 6 and 6.
Hey,
coming in.
Records don't mean diddly.
Yeah.
6 and 6. Here they win through the playoffs, and now they're in the championship.
Yep. Now they get the big hardware.
That's awesome.
At the end of the season. Yeah, good for them.
That is awesome. Dave, you know the other thing, though? 34-21. They had 24 at halftime. So they only scored 10 in the second half.
Yeah.
What the heck? Nobody could put the ball in the hoop.
Edelman put something in the basketball. That had to be it. I don't know. He put little rubber pellets inside the basketball, maybe.
Oh, that was a fun game to watch.
It was. And, the thing about it was, except there toward the end, Brian Forney had a little contact there with Phil. Was that Hughes or Yeager?
It was a big guy.
Phil Hughes.
Yeah.
Yeah. They had that contact there at the end of the game.
Yeah.
But
they should have had that earlier.
Yeah. But nothing happened after that. They had the initial contact. They had a little bit of a discussion, and they walked away. And like you said, they're hugging at the end.
The best thing, Dave, look, there's families leaving. These are all dads, a lot of them, playing out here. There's their wives with their little babies in the carriages and little kids. That's what it's all about. That's what the Summer League is so good.
Yeah. We'll take a look at some of the scoring here as I have it, which is highly unofficial. But Mike Machonsky ended up with 8 points in the game for Haas's. James Muir ended up with a total of 8 as well. And then you had a couple from Brandon Simpson and a couple from Phil Hughes. And I missed one along the way somewhere. But, that's those are the guys with points for Haas's. Over on the Colton's Cruisers side, Brian Forney with a heck of a job being the court general and being able to provide the offense, as he ended up with 11 points in the game. Jason Cornelius had 12. Kyle Updike ended up scoring 7 in the game. And the other points put in by Tyler Port as, let's see, it's 23, 30, 4 points in the game for Tyler Port. So
Tyler Port, that is one big dude.
Yeah, he is. He is, no doubt.